Welcome to Raise Your Voice, the second season of Pod's Corner or the Let's Be Happy podcast. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media.
Hello everyone, this is another episode of Pod's Corner or
the Let's Be Happy podcast.
Alright, and this is Delphina and my co-host
Rosamund Gravel.
And today is a really special day because we are introducing an artist. She lives in Argentina and she grew up in Argentina, but she actually was born in Bolivia, and she also has Asian roots. And she's an amazing artist. She is a singer, she's a performer, she is a composer. She plays quite a few instruments, and she is Wan Geisha. Wan, hello, welcome to our episode. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi Delphi, hi Rose. Thank you very much for the space. I'm very happy to be sharing this space with you today. Yes, definitely. My name is Wan Geisha. I am a pop soul singer, songwriter, multicultural artist, I would say. And I'm very, very happy to be sharing my story with you today.
We're delighted that you're here today with this episode on Poets Corner. My first question is, you've got such an amazing voice and you play all these instruments. What drew you to using sound as your vehicle for expression?
I'm going to have to say that since I was little, when I was around 10 years old, I discovered that I had this ear for music. I remember I used to listen to the radio until very late when I was little, like around 10 years old. And I would listen to the radio and I thought there was only a magic box. I was so curious. And I remember listening to Michael Jackson, listening to the Beatles. And I used to think that I had an ear for listening to their songs and imitating. So the first thing that the way that I realized I was able to, that I had a thing for sound, it was because when I listened, I was able to imitate with my voice. So when I started to imitate, I said to myself, oh, I can sing the same, melody that I hear. And that's how I discovered that I could make music with my voice. And then I had this curiosity about guitar. Guitar was my second instrument when I started playing. I was around my 12, 14 years old. I started to play guitar. My mom used to play guitar and my dad as well before me. So for me, it was, something. I got my first guitar when I was around 14 years old. And I realized that it came easy to me as well to listen to the sounds in the guitar and to play with it, because at the end of the day, for me at the beginning, it was very playful, but the vibrations, I would say, that I found through imitating the sound at the beginning was a game for me. It was all play and learn. And then it was not until I was like around 20 something that I realized I could take it farther. And it was this thing that music is a beautiful thing because it allows you to learn and to discover yourself by playing. And it can be the guitar, it can be the piano, it can be your own voice. But it really opens up a world where you discover yourself playing and doing all these sounds, and also playing with sounds through the software, through the production software you have in the computer. So you have so many tools at your disposal. And for me, it was amazing because I realized there was texture in my voice that I could play with. And at the same time, it gives you playing multiple instruments. It gives you the ability to also coordinate with your voice and the instrument in the different intervals, and to make something that in the end, it has a beautiful synchronous movement and synchronous sound that to me was honestly, the other thing I remember is when I started to study music, when I was like around 20 years old, I used to go to this institute where there were full bands playing, and I'm talking, trumpets, I'm talking piano, I'm talking flute, all of them, a big orchestra playing. And when I went there, I used to think that was heaven for me. It was listening to all of this music in coordination with all the instrument, making this beautiful melody and harmony in coordination that I thought, man, this is really what I want to do for the rest of my life. I feel like this is heaven to me. So that's when I discovered sound, and that's when I discovered music, that it was already part of me. It was part of me. It was part of my soul. And it's like if I was lifted just by listening to it and just by being part of it. So it was very exciting at the time. But that's how I discovered sound in my life.
And
Wow.
it also sounds like you obviously came from a tradition, your parents, you're surrounded by it all the time, that it was sort of a natural progression for you to sort of open yourself up into that world.
Yes. So it's actually kind of funny. I come from a very conservative family. Conservative in the way that my dad's a doctor. He has right now like around 80 years old, and he's a very like someone that is very knowledgeable and very, it comes from a strong tradition. My family is very, has a strong tradition. Everyone in my family is very humble. They sacrifice for the better, for the good. There's a strong value of sacrifice that comes from my Bolivian family, and there's a strong value of family tradition and sacrifice. And my mom used to be a nurse too. She passed away already in 2021, but she was a nurse, and they both played guitar, but they did it as a hobby. They didn't like took it farther than just for a hobby type of thing. But yeah, definitely that was something that I think I inherited in a way. But that is something that I'm very, very grateful for, because I think that it was also part of why I have this thing of curiosity about music that I had to pursue. Yes.
That is really a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story. So let's say that you had it inside of you before even started. So your first approach with music was the guitar, or you already knew that your voice were going to be your main instrument at that time, at the age of 20?
Very good question. I would say that the first thing that I realized when I was around 10, it was that I had a voice. Because when I listened to the radio, which was, I really miss like the old radio, that big radio that we had back in the 90s. I realized I had an ear to use my voice as an instrument, because at the end of the day, when you learn how to sing, you're actually imitating sound intervals with your voice. That's how you realize, and how I realized that I could sing, is that I could imitate these sound intervals. But the way that I actually went farther, it was because of the guitar, because at the end of the day, the guitar is more visual. You can identify in the fretboard in the guitar, you can identify all the notes and the chords and the figures that you do. So guitar was actually my second instrument, and that's how I actually took my voice further. And because you train your voice with the guitar as well, with the sound of the guitar, the intervals. For me, that was even taking it farther, so I can learn more about music. And then the third instrument I learned was piano, because the texture was different, and I wanted to make sure that the three instruments, my voice, the piano, and the guitar, were in coordination, that I could build our harmonies with it. I could build melodies, songs with them. They're playing with the different textures. But yeah, I would say my voice was the first one that I realized that I had a natural talent with the voice. Yes.
That's really nice. And you, at that time, you already started composing, or you started like a hobby, as you said that? Did you take part of a band, or you have been always a solo artist, or did you take the whole situation any further than that, or you starting probably playing some covers, or going to places and play, or something like that, or composing new stuff?
It was a journey. It was a long journey. There are some singers that naturally can sing well from the beginning. It was not the case for me. Like, I could realize back in when I was 10, when I said, hey, I can sing, but I had to have a lot of training. So when we say training, it's not like I sang like I'm singing today when I was 10. It was really a journey of learning. So when I realized I could sing, that's when I said I need to learn more things because it wasn't perfect at all. And for me, at least, it was a journey. So when I took the guitar, it was a journey of learning not only to my own discovering my own voice and discovering what I wanted to sing. It was a long journey of learning how to best manage my vocals and all the air and understanding how to make it sound beautifully the way that I like it, right? Because you can sing, people doesn't realize this, but you can sing in so many ways. In you can build a style. So your voice is your instrument and you can make it sound the way that you want it. And there are so many different ways, right? That's the beautiful thing. But for me, it was a journey. At the beginning, it was not good. I could sing, but it was not perfect. So I had to learn a lot with the guitar, with the piano. And I did as well join bands when I was around 20 years old. I started to join alternative rock bands, and I was actually the lead singer for two bands at the time, which were rock bands that made music similar to Radiohead, similar to Muse, which is a British band. And I realized I had this thing to actually I love to be part of a band. At the beginning, I was really exciting just to play with other musicians and to feel that we are building something together that it's so beautiful. But yes, I had a couple bands growing up, like around my 20s, and that helped me learn a lot as well about how you work with other musicians and you build this assemble of sounds. And it just also makes it so much fun because it becomes a game again. You have to go in and go out of the song if you have a different instrument or if you're playing an improvisation. And that's how I also learn a lot about building harmonies, building also doing composition and do dynamics in the song. That all helped me a lot to where I am today, to be honest.
It's amazing. It's interesting. Your question. Well, I watched a lot of your Insta, and you've done some amazing cover songs, and sort of like the influences there. And did you do the cover songs to help your voice? And what draws you to certain cover songs of bands? Is it just the moment, the feel, or as you said, you've mentioned a few bands there that you enjoyed, or is it something else when you choose something to sing?
Beautiful. So when I choose the covers to sing, I typically choose bands or songs that I feel can be interpreted in a different way that they originally are. So I take them and try to make them mine. So as if I had wrote the song, and when I actually discover the sound that I want to bring into the world, with the texture of my voice and the music that I make, I realize that it's a lot about taking these songs some of them are very cheerful, some of them are very screaming something to the world. The songs that have most that make you want to lift your chair and get up. Well, those are the type of songs, and I say it like in a cheerful and also a sad way, or angry way. Some songs that I pick are typically like those songs that have high notes or that go from a low note to a higher note. Those are the songs that bring some strength, and that's what I try to convey with my voice. That's a feeling that it can come from anger, it can come from sadness, and it can come from also joy. And that's why I love it, honestly. So I tend to typically take some or make some covers from songs that have that quality that they can make you just leave your chair and get up, coming from any feeling. These three that I mentioned or any other, because I do believe that you can build strength any feeling, not only when you're in your good moments. It can actually come from any feeling. So So that would be it.
Thank you. That's incredible.
And would you say that there is a message that would you like to give to the world with your songs or covers or in general?
Yes.
With your music?
Yes. That's when I started making my own music, which was around like not long ago. It was after the pandemic. I realized I actually made a decision, a conscious decision, that I want to make music because I feel there is a space in the world where we need to embrace sadness and any emotion, but I would say sadness most of all, because sadness is a very hidden feeling, like a rejected feeling. Like I feel like there's a taboo around sadness, that I think there's room for all of us to grow from sadness. Sadness is not really bad, and it's actually something that most people think is bad, but it's actually part of life. And Wan Geisha wants to say, or the reason why I make music with Wan Geisha's concept and value, it's because I feel like we're forgetting that all of the strength that we have and the strength that we hold inside, it actually comes from being a little bit sad sometimes, and embracing that sadness as part of life. Not as something that has to be rejected or hidden, but it's actually something that it's telling you that you love, and that that's why you're being sad. So the main value of Wan Geisha, and the thing that Wan Geisha comes to tell to the world, is that you can build a strength from any feeling. Don't hide your sadness. Just embrace who you are, and embrace every feeling, and make sure that you are feeling it, and then you're also going forward with it. It's like because you can go forward, you can move forward in life, even though you are sad, even though you are a bit sad, and then you have a bit sadness in your heart.
Do you think that the obstacles that you faced to get to this point, to share your beauty and your soul and this message through your music, has come from the obstacles in your past as well?
Definitely, yes. I would say when I was growing up, I had a tough childhood, and this is very a personal story of mine. But my mom had depression when I was very, very young. She got diagnosed when I was like around 12 years old. So, and to also open up about the discussion about this, because you need to be transparent. All of us need to be transparent to be discussing these things. So I feel like that's the calling, and that's the way for me to show that you need to do in this life is discover who you want to be. Play with it. This is your amazing opportunity to play with it and try different things and discover who you are.
That's really incredible. And of course, we're so sorry to hear about your mother's passing and how incredibly difficult that must have been. But I think you're right in honoring your mother, like, all our voices, because especially for women, or if you're female identifying, a lot of time we have to keep our voices quiet. We can't raise them, or we can't go for that calling that we want to find, or play around to find something. So having someone like you on to talk about it and shine a light and be a bearer for everybody else is really incredible. And as you said, it honors your mother, honors yourself, and honors all the people that come after you. So it's really incredible what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. So brave for you to say it, and it's amazing the message that is behind your music, and you or Wan Geisha as an artist, to embrace that message and to tell people, embrace yourself, be who you want to be, because, and this is something I say, not that you said, that life is quite short and you don't know what is going to happen or where it's taking you. But if you raise yourself, no one else is going to do it. And we have to own our lives. And when you, especially our voices, as Ross said, for women in history has been quite a journey as well to raise our voice. So I think it's a beautiful message, and this answer that you gave us is leading me to the next question that I wanted to ask you, and is probably related to this. Where or when or how do you find inspiration for your lyrics or for your songs?
When I started to write my own music, it was actually right after my mom passed away. The way that I and my entire family had to deal with seeing her lose herself, because at the end of the day, she was not my mom anymore. She passed away in 2021, and she was my mom, but she was not like the same person that obviously I met when I was younger. And seeing her go through that, it was very painful for all of us that were around her. So I went through, my family and me went through so much pain, that when she passed away, it was actually after the pandemic. We didn't have the chance to say goodbye, none of us, because due to the protocols that were in place. It was very painful. Basically, we saw her slowly fade away, and in the end we didn't have a chance to say goodbye. So basically, the lyrics of the songs that I'm producing and releasing these days are pretty much for a time in my life where I had to go through a lot of pain and try to find meaning despite of the pain. And I think at the end of the day, what I've learned, at least in my story, is that you can move forward with pain, not rejecting the pain as a bad emotion, but just embracing it as something that you're gonna have to carry inside and move forward with it. So I would say that the first set of songs come from that deep pain and that braveness to wake up every day despite the fact that you are feeling sadness.
And is it your third song which has been recently released? Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, that's actually when I wrote the set of songs that I have right now is I wrote 6 songs, and the one that I released just a couple days ago is the third one of these 6 set of songs that I wrote back in the days. And the cool thing is, I think, at least from my perspective, is that I played a lot with it because I also wanted to transform this deep sadness into pop that it was. Some of it is actually cheerful, and it's pop soul, and it actually makes you want to move as well. It's not all ballads or sadness. So I have a good mix of epic with soul and with jazz as well, which is an element that I've tried to infuse in my music as well because I love it very much.
And what's the third song called?
So the song is called Silence of the Dreamers.
And you can get it on Apple Music, Spotify, like all the...
Yes, it's right now it's available in all streaming platforms. So that includes YouTube Music, Apple Music, and Spotify as well.
Excellent. And are you with a record producing company now, or are you kind of producing on your own? Or
Good question. So when I started, I do have a producer. His name is Pablo Caputo, and he's in Buenos Aires as well. So he helped me produce The Silence of the Dreamers and Crave, which was my second release. He's amazing. He helped me bring the song to a whole other level, because the way that I wrote is I typically do it or either in my head and then go to the guitar and structure the song with the guitar or the piano. And then I build a sort of a sketch in Ableton Live, which is a production. It's a production software where you basically record the whole song, and then you start playing with the harmonies and kind of a sketch of how you think it would look, but it's not pro, right? And then I take this draft or sketch to the producer, and he helped me really take it to a whole new level. Now it's a really professional song, and I'm very, very, very proud of it.
that sounds fantastic. Are there any producers that you would love to work with? Their sounds and kind of...
Yes, there are many producers that I love to work with. It's actually has taught me a lot to work with producers because some of them, they have a strong vision about what they want to build into your song. And I consider myself very, like I also have a strong vision on what my music, what I feel my music should, or how I want it to sound, right? So it was a journey for me to learn how to work with a producer that has a strong vision like Pablo. There are many producers that I want to work with, but I feel very like admire many of them. I feel it would be very tough to just choose one or two. At the end of the day, to me, it's also a learning process. So myself, I hope one day as well can learn to produce my own music. But for the time being, I think working with Pablo and working with other producers, perhaps producers in the other countries, because that's also kind of expanding the learning for me and the music industry perspective, that will be interesting for me to pursue in the long term, to be honest. Yes.
And that'll be great, and I can't wait to hear the music as you get on, and all the music that you'll be able to produce and get people to help you produce. That'd be awesome.
Yes, and regarding that, are you planning a new date or a new live performance here in Argentina or whatever that we or people can go and see you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually planning to play in Congo Bar, which is here in Buenos Aires, which is a really nice venue for small emerging artists like myself. And I'm also planning on playing in Club Temple, which I've already played before, but this will be like another bigger stage. And this is going to be more or less in the September, October timeframe, which is spring in Buenos Aires. And those are my plans for the time being. Hopefully I'm gonna have more dates, but I think with those two for now, opening up is gonna be a great start.
Oh, fantastic, and hopefully we can put the dates and places that you're going to appear on our social media as well, so that people can be aware and hopefully follow you and go and see you. The other thing that I would love to talk about as well is your look. You have Wan Geisha's look is incredible, and it feels like that's a bit of noise as well. So like from the inside, so bright, so bold. You incorporate the Asian heritage with the kimonos. Obviously, are there any other influences that kind of help and mold your look?
Thank you. So it was I'm actually working on developing my own clothing as we speak, my own look. I felt really inspired by the Japanese geishas, but I also want to play with the Bolivian style. Bolivians have very for carnival,
Yeah.
and in some of the costumes are actually called Chinese. This is really very insider. Yes. So in Spanish is chinita, like small Chinese. But those are like the name of the costumes when they dress for carnival, and they use these skirts, short skirts, some hats. So I want to play with that and play with the Japanese and make a fusion with it. I'm working on that front as well because I feel that has like to be another work stream of my art. But there's more to come on that. But yes, I definitely want to merge these beautiful cultures that are part of my life and part of who I am and play with them and also, put a One Geisha print on them. And so, I can share with the world.
Incredible. You're incredible. And just like bring all these streams into it to make a total artist, really, and bring these wonderful cultures together and share it with everyone in such color and such, but also going through, as you said, the journey. So from where the pain was, and also as well, the cultures have been rooted in pain and subjugation and colonialism, but a vibrancy has eventually come out of that, and to then merge it with everything else and to bring such a beautiful story on so many levels to the world is incredible. I can't wait
Yes,
to see.
I feel very happy about it. To be honest, to me, when I was very little, I don't remember a lot from when I was like 5 years old. When we moved to Buenos Aires, I was like around 5 years old. But before that, like at the same age, I remember I had a scene, preschool where I had problems speaking up, even to go to the bathroom. So I have this memory of me in preschool It was actually with everyone on a table, my peers at preschool, and I couldn't speak up to the teacher to ask to go to the bathroom because I was scared. And you asked me why I was scared. I would say it was because I was afraid to pick up and call the attention of everyone. And the reason why that is because in my family we were so, so conservative that we thought it was better to play well by the rules, don't stand out, don't get noticed. And it's very like, this is a memory I have from when I was like 5, where I was sitting with all of my peers in the preschool, and I couldn't ask the teacher to go to the bathroom, so I peed myself. And this is something like is so like, now that I remember why that happened, and I have this reflection thinking, oh, why would I be so afraid to ask to go to the bathroom? Now it's why now is when I understand why. But back then, obviously, it was just a memory from me being very, very little. But now, that actually has a meaning, because now I feel that I can be completely vocal about who I am, and what I can share, and my story as well. Back in the day, it was very tough for me to even be vocal about anything in my life, and that was true for even before I turned, even for when I was a teenager. I would say it started to change when I started to lean into the music. So I would say the music, it was my instrument to transform to transform all of this. And it's amazing that the music can really heal you as a person, and it did that for me.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it has been a fantastic journey for you of becoming an artist, and not only an artist, but becoming a person who wants to give a message through all these stories, or all this journey, and all your story and your roots and everything that had happened to you, and transform that into something beautiful and colorful to show people and to tell people, speak up and stand for what you think is the right thing to do and embrace yourself. I think it's a really, really lovely message, and it has been really brave from you to do it. So I thank you, because I think that we need more people like you, or people like that can embrace that. And even though when you have been through a lot, and being able to transform all that in something beautiful again, I think it's a fantastic job, and something that we need in this world today. So thank you so much. It has been amazing listening to you. I'm amazed.
Thank you, girls, for inviting me, for sharing your beautiful space with me. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. It's just been such a pleasure. You're an inspiration, and everybody out there, go and listen to Wan Geisha, follow you on YouTube and Insta and everything. You're a real inspiration and a bright light in the world, Wan. So thank you very, very much for sharing the space with us too.
Thank you, girls. It was lovely to meet you today, and to share this space with you.
Cool. Anything else that you would like to share, and your Instagram handle, or if you are also in some other platforms, probably SoundCloud or your Spotify profile, or something that is coming up?
Yeah, so besides the dates I have later in the year for lives, I would say connect to YouTube. I'm going to be very present in my YouTube channel. I actually just got the official artist channel in YouTube, which for me before it was unbelievable. Now I have it, which means now I can do lives from the YouTube channel. So I'm preparing some lives to share on YouTube as well. So if you want to connect in YouTube, look for me. I'm Wan Geisha, WAN Geisha, like Japanese geishas. And I'm also on Spotify if you feel more like putting your headset and diving deeper into the music. And you can follow me on Instagram as well. I typically share the updates there. I'm at one.geisha there. So feel free to connect on any platform that you feel comfortable with. And if my story resonates, I hope you really connect and send me a ping.
Cool. Thank you very much. Ross, is there anything else that you would like to ask?
I think I've just been completely inspired by Wan Geisha. So it's just been such a wonderful story to listen to and hear. And thank you very much. And it's been such a great episode, and you've been such a great guest.
Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Ross. And thank you for all the people that are listening to us or the episode. If you haven't heard the previous season, we invite you to do it in our YouTube channel. We are Pod's Corner or the Let's Be Happy podcast. You can find all the first season there and all the episodes. And thank you and see you around.
See you around, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Estás conmigo después de mucho tiempo de haberme dejado sabes que es más cómodo ignorar try with
Welcome to Raise Your Voice, the second season of Pod's Corner or the Let's Be Happy podcast. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media.